Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. I am Brent West, along with Jack Lord, Rodney West. And you know what we're going to be doing today? We're going to be looking at October 1981. We'll go back and relive these memories through the Inside Wrestling magazine. And this was when the American Dream Dusty Rhodes was the World Heavyweight Champion. Look at old Dusty, Harley Race, tremendous matches back in the day. And on the back of this, you could get this wrestling album. Jack, did you get the wrestling album?
No, I never did get the wrestling album. I wished I had now.
I do wish I would have got them as well.
It's only $5 each.
How many did they have of them? Does it say on here? Oh, there's 70 of these things. But I would wish I would
for only $5.
Does anyone out there have these? Is there anybody out there that bought these back in the day and that has those? We'd love to see every one of them. That would be tremendous to see them. What size was those things? Does it say on this thing? It does not say what size they are. I'm guessing they were posters, wasn't it? All right. You can gain 5 or 10 pounds back in those days. Let's see. Man, they had a lot of advertisements in these things. Peter King. All right, here we go. The Moondogs. All right, what Moondog was that? Who's that guy that did the Moondog thing?
Geez. He was Sailor something before he did that. I can't remember.
You know, I kind of liked Larry Booker with him is better than I liked that guy. But all right, here we go. Here is Junkyard Dog. Now this was right when he was blinded by Michael Hayes, the fabulous Freebird. What? Hey, my lights just flickered off. Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still there. Yeah, right. Sailor White, Rick Brooks said.
Sailor White. There we see there. All right. Whoop. Jack, you used to have programs. Daniel Lang given to you. They used to not be ripped. They'd be a little ripped now. Here we go. Mr. Wrestling 2. I wonder who he has in a headlock right there. I don't think it says. And then Tony Gurria over there on the other side. And here we have. Here we have. Who's this over here? Who's this right here? Jimmy Garvin and the Super Destroyer. That was in Georgia, wasn't it?
Yes.
During the time he was wrestling in Georgia. And there we see one of the Freebirds. I believe that could be Buddy Roberts. I'm not for sure. With Junkyard Dog trying to take his eyes out. And there's the peg principle. I think, as Captain Lou Albano called that, putting that stuff in his face. He called that the peg principle. And I can't remember the whole. Y'all remember that? He would call that the peg principle, and he would call PEG, and there was actually the PEG stood for something.
Yeah, I don't remember what it stood for.
We'll have to look that up. Somebody knows. Leave a comment. I would like to hear what that meant. Greg the Hammer Valentine, always in shape. Always in shape right there. As you see on this installment, as we're looking through, I'm not using the other camera, as you see. It was a little blurry last time. I was going to get my eyes examined, and I just found out it was the camera. All right, so now here's Magnificent Morocco. Rodney's one of Rodney's favorite wrestlers in the world, Manny Fernandez.
Yes, Manny, right in the middle. There's Ted DiBiase, Jimmy Snuka.
Is this Jimmy Snuka? And is he doing his Flintstones impersonation?
That if he's got a beard on, that's probably when he was in the Mid-Atlantic area. Because he had to wear boots too, but I remember him coming out with that.
Don't they say Jimmy Snuka is being something by Terry Gordy in Atlanta? Is that what it's talking about down there?
Could be.
Hey, he was the original Jungle Boy, evidently. They call him the Jungle Boy right here. Ted DiBiase, by the way, up top there. The Assassins. The Assassins right there. Is that Jody and who would the other assassin been at the time? Because it wasn't Randy Colley.
Now, if you remember, those the magazines are about 3 months behind. So,
but now, what one of the Moondogs wasn't it? Randy Colley?
He said that's right. It was Randy Colley, so it couldn't have been. You're right.
So who was this? Was this Roger Smith?
Was that? Does it? Can you tell? It looks like the belts are being blurred. They're Florida. They're in Florida, so I'm not sure. He had a partner. I remember he had a partner in Florida, and then he beat him up, took his mask off. Johnny Hamilton did. Richard Hood saying it's Roger Smith.
Because I know he did. Roger Smith did do the fair. There's bad Leroy Brown. He stayed away enough for the pitcher. Here you see. And then Stallone and Hogan. That was what made Hulk Hogan the star he is. And there we see Jake Roberts with actual wrestling tights on. Not whatever that he started wearing. What did he wear to the ring? Was that pants?
He was wearing pants. I believe oftentimes to hide his skinny legs.
I don't know what your problem is. You just there we see Pedro Morales in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, against Don Morocco, Monroe, Louisiana. The mask grappler. I almost said mask grappler against Jake Roberts. Bob Backlund against Killer Khan. Miami Beach. Sweet Brown Sugar against the mask assassin. Now that's Jody, isn't it? That's Jody.
Yes.
And Columbus, Georgia. Ted DiBiase and Michael Hayes. And Spartanburg, South Carolina. Ric Flair and Roddy Piper. You know, every place was drawing pretty decent money back in those days. I'd say every one of them were drawing pretty good. Don Morocco here. He was treacherous. Is that how you say that word? Treacherous. Thank you. You know, it's always the big words that get me. So that's some of the small words as well will get me. See, this is the reason he was that.
Yeah, that's where we differ, because the words that always get me where I do.
Look at this cheater. Look at this cheater. Don Morocco, this cheater.
You know, when your foot's up on the rope, it's obvious that the guys putting up the ring did not know what they're doing to put the ropes in that close.
This is true. Is that Pat Patterson coming off the
That's what it says.
Against Sergeant Slaughter? They had some good matches, by the way. So they had some tremendous matches. Here we are, Pat Patterson. He does not get the credit he deserves as being one of the greats in professional wrestling. Where are they now? You see Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler was on every magazine, by the way. Jerry Lawler, in some form or fashion. Jimmy Snuka, Hulk Hogan, Lord Alfred Hayes. If you have not seen Lord Alfred Hayes as a manager in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, you're missing some tremendous stuff. He was so good at that time. Here we go. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. On Matt Brock's, plain speaking. Dusty Rhodes against Harley Race, Hulk Hogan, and Roddy Piper. Before he was Roddy Piper. Let's see. All right, here. Maybe we can see in this. Maybe we can see in this. There was Mil Mascaras. Sweet Brown Sugar said the day that I think in the story, if I'm not, Sweet Brown Sugar says, when we got the finish, Mil wouldn't do the job, so I had to. I think that's in there in some form or fashion. That's what Jack would tell you anyway. They're taking their mask off there. But I believe that is Roger Smith, though. Now, he was tremendous.
Yep.
If there was that, he could work. All right, here's Dusty Rhodes as the champion. Going against Ken Patera, which I believe that was in Atlanta. I'm not for sure, but I believe that was the time that Ken Patera might have been in Atlanta. Is that Dick Murdoch he's worked? No, it's Harley Race, isn't it? And Terry Funk up top there.
Yeah.
Some good stuff. Some good stuff there. And then here's Ken Patera. I wonder if this was. No, I did not do that at the McDonald's. I believe that's what he was trying to say. He always has that look on his. Look at that. He looks in both of those pictures. He was kind of wild in them. He's going to get. Is that Harley Race again? I believe it is. Ken Patera was a great wrestler, though. He just never got. I always liked it when they did the official ratings this way.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But for a while they just put the names, and then they started doing it this way, and I always enjoy it. We won't bore the people with who was who, but as we can see, Bob Backlund was champion, was the WWF champion. AWA was Nick Bockwinkel. National Wrestling Alliance was Dusty Rhodes, which he was the most popular wrestler. Also, he was the one that paid the most money to Bill Apter. And Magnificent Morocco, most hated wrestler, and tag teams Ole and Gene Anderson. No, I'm just joking. Dusty Rhodes was over. If anybody just here is Flair versus Koloff. Sonny Fargo, I believe, the referee in that match. The brawl. The NWA demanded Ric Flair and Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear. Eddie Cheslak took those photographs. All right, here's some more photographs of that match. They did a great job on this magazine, by the way. I go back and look at these, and the photographs were just tremendous. Sonny Fargo in that as well. Okay, I have to ask you. Y'all remember reading these?
Yes.
These were crazy. I mean, absolutely nuts, the writing of these. But as we see, two greats, Jack Briscoe and Dory Funk Jr., if you can get a hold of some of these and you've never read these one-on-ones, you're in for a treat when you read these. Was this written by Bill Apter?
I'm not sure who wrote that because they purposely don't list a writer on that. But the promoters, bookers would give them the storylines of what they were going into and what they wanted to push, and then a writer would write both parts.
Yeah. It was always crazy. Jake Roberts wins the North American Championship in 1981. I don't know that I knew that he was in Mid-South Wrestling and won the North American title in 1981. We had this program.
Yeah, that was part of our collection. Yeah,
it's part of our collection. It might have got wet by now. And here is Frank Lucic. I guess he was a manager. Did he manage the Raptors?
Yes.
Well, there was only one grappler then, wasn't he? There wasn't a grappler.
Right.
Hey, you could get strong arms back then. Only $5. You have you some be taller as well. Instantly.
Hey, I didn't go for the arms things, but that big taller thing worked for me.
Man, they had a lot of ads in this thing, didn't they? Yeah. Look at Bobby Heenan. For me, I love it. I love this picture. Bobby Heenan, Nick Bockwinkel, AWA champion. Dusty Rhodes is the man. They had a lot of things where you could become a muscle man, didn't they? Killer Khan, great presence.
Yep.
I think he was the greatest wrestler, but such a presence about him. He was, when he walked down the aisle, you thought, oh man, he's fixing to kill somebody. Killer Khan. I don't know where he was wrestling at the time, though. I'm not for sure. Oh, there's Mil Mascaras again, Jack's favorite wrestler. As you see, we have a lot of favorite wrestlers here.
I don't mind it, but go ahead and turn the page.
There's Dusty Rhodes and Roddy Piper, always cheating. And then there's Dusty and Ivan Koloff, the American Dream. Dory Funk Jr., Jack Briscoe. That goes on with more of the one-on-one story. I tell you what, it'd probably be interesting just to read those one time on the air.
Look, is that the abdominal scratch he's got on there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't think they use that hold anymore, do they?
Very rarely. I say every great now and then I'll see somebody like a Randy Orton do it.
Wrestling Magazine. Daniel Lang, thank you so much for these magazines. And I am getting these, by the way, I am getting them to Jack September 23rd. Well, we'll give these to him. And he'll just have to overlook that rip that I put in this one. No, I didn't rip it. I did not rip it. All right, let's see what the insiders have got to say. And let's see. Well, it'd be helpful if I get to the top. Rick Brooks, hello to all the insiders. By the way, the only people going to be part of this is the Insider Nation, and you become a supporter through Facebook. It's right at the top of the page. So if you want to be a part of these videos, you can do so as a supporter. Michael B. Now, he wants us to call him Michael Barr, but since he put the B on there, he will always be Michael B. I watched WWE Rawler's War, and it was finally a good show. Is it still Rawler's War?
No, it hasn't been Rawler's War since 2001.
He might have watched the old show.
They ended that because of 9/11, and they changed the name at that time.
So it was a pretty good show. Anybody watch? Anybody else watch it?
I watched part of it last night. It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all.
I was asleep by 10 o'clock, so I wouldn't, and I was working up to that point. So Richard Hood just checked in with us. Rick Brooks says Sailor White. That's when we were talking about the
Moondogs.
The Moondogs.
Yeah.
Aaron is with us. How you doing, Aaron? Richard Hood. Guys, have you heard of a show on Stars called Hills? Jack, have you watched it?
I have not watched it yet, but I actually sent some folks to them when they were casting over in. They filmed this over in Georgia. CM Punk is a part of the cast there also, but I have heard some great reviews from it.
Now, this is the guy from Arrow, right? That plays the main part.
Yes.
Whatever that guy's name is.
And Luke Hawks from a great professional wrestler from out of Louisiana he was over all the stunts and I think bringing in a lot of the independent wrestlers to do stuff and just a tremendous show from what I've heard.
By the way, if anybody wants to watch Fantasy Island, there's a new Fantasy Island out. Don't waste your time.
It just dawned on me that Moondog's name, it was either Rex or King. Spot was Larry Booker.
Yeah.
So it's either Rex or King.
Well, let me see what it says here. See if it does say.
I believe it's Moondog Rex. Because there was only one Moondog in the beginning. It was him, the Sailor White. But I believe it's Moondog Rex, I believe is his. Maybe it's King. I'm not sure. It's either Rex or King.
They always continue these on another deal. And it was always next to some kind of advertisement. It said it was on page 52, but there's nothing on there about the Moondogs on page.
Did he not tag first with Moondog Maine, Lonnie Maine?
He could have, yes. And then Randy Colley. Randy Colley's the only person that had like 2,300 different gimmicks.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had every gimmick I could think of. Roger Smith is who we're thinking is the other assassin. Michael said good photos. They did great job in these magazines. Tremendous job in these magazines. They always looked good. And for $1.25, that was a great bargain for all you got inside this magazine because it was. Let's see how many pages. Now some of it I think I bought one of these, by the way. These little slapjacks. I think I've got one of those. I think I bought one. I don't think you could get away with that today. I don't think they'd sell a slapjack through the mail, would they? But back in those days, we didn't care.
Well, they're legal in Alabama again. So,
Rick Brooks, is it correct that Jungle Boy is Luke Perry's son? Yes, I believe that is true.
He certainly is.
And Luke Perry passed away, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Rodney's still on the truth about Jake. I did not say that, Jake. I did not say you had little legs, shiny legs. I didn't say that. Rodney said that. So when you see us, I did not say that at any point. And if anybody ever says that I said something about somebody and I come right to their face, I'm going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. I never said it. Robert Grice. Hello. Hey, guys. How you doing, Robert? Michael B. On a good night with a good crowd, what could the wrestlers make on a good night? Oh, some tremendous money. Tremendous money. I mean, there's guys sometimes that made $3,000 or $4,000 off of a gate. I mean, just according to how much it was. People got to understand that during the Mid-South Wrestling times, tickets in 1983, 84, when Mid-South Wrestling, tickets were a whole lot more in Mid-South Wrestling than they were where we came from in Georgia Championship Wrestling or even Continental. If their tickets were $5, Bill Watts's was $15. I mean, there was that much of a change. And there were some $200,000 to $180,000 gates happening in Mid-South Wrestling at the time. And when you're looking at a 30%, some did 27%. Some did 25. It was always between 25 and 30%. It was according to what territory it was. But, there is Richard sent me something, and we'll have to share that. And it broke down, I think it was Chicago, what the wrestlers made. There was a whole sheet, and it broke down what they made. Tremendous money. People don't believe at this point, they don't believe that wrestlers made more than football players in the 1970s, but they did. Wrestlers made a whole lot more money than football players did. They probably don't now, but they did at that time, because I don't know that a player would get a guarantee back in those days. I think they got incentives, and they would get more money if they had incentives, but I don't think they had contracts. But wrestlers got a percentage, and they didn't even get a percentage. Football players didn't get a percentage of the gate. So, wrestlers have always got percentage of the gate. Now, some will say the promoter messed them around. Bob Roode would have been one of them. But I don't believe that it always happened that way. I just don't. The official ratings page would have made a good calendar. Yes, it would have.
Yes.
I would have made a good calendar. Robert Grice, is any wrestler still in business who has wrestled as many over the years as Ric Flair? Is there?
I would have said Jimmy Valiant, but he just retired.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is still throwing chops. We know that. So technically, I'd say he's still active.
Yeah. I would think Ric Flair is it. Michael B said, good question. Michael said, need strong arms for only $5. I am tall enough. Yes, you want me to get you that? I don't even know. I don't know, Michael, if there's a number. I don't think they had a number. No, you had to order. You had to send in a card, and there was no numbers in any of these. So you will not be able to call.
Here, I'll save you $5. 4 words. Go to the gym. They sell them there. You got to pick them up. A lot.
Anyone know what the magazines from that period are worth today? I have a lot of them. Rick, I don't know.
It's just according to really who's on the cover. But if you'll look on eBay, and if you have an account on eBay, if you'll go on eBay and off to the left-hand column, there is something about similar items sold or something like that, where you can punch that and it'll bring it up. It'll show you. I mean, it's one thing, you can ask $1 million for something, but the sold stuff will show you what stuff actually sold for. And that's a good way to gauge, what your magazines are worth.
And there's a possibility that Pro Wrestling Inside and Out could purchase them for future shows.
Yep.
So we could maybe talk about it, unless you're wanting thousands of dollars and you can just keep them. I'm just joking. Membership is lacking. Time to change the booker, my boy. I will agree. Our membership is not that great, but we half the time we don't even push it. We just forget. We get into it. We talk about it. I don't know. We've missed the T-shirt thing several times. We just forget to do it. We get into
ProWrestlingTees.com, Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. Go buy one. There you go.
We just forget to do it. And we have it down on our sheet. It says on the sheet.
Don't make me be the only one going over there and buying one, because I got to get a new Jack Lord T-shirt because I dropped a cigar and there's a hole in mine.
Oh, he said he's back as Michael Barr now. He's back as Michael Barr. So he's not Michael B. It's Michael Barr. All right. So we can continue calling him that. Just think of Jake the Snake when he brought his snake to the ring and the other wrestlers brought the duck to the ring.
Probably would have been a better fight in a way.
Oh, man. That wouldn't have been a good match, though. Mighty Igor wouldn't have had a good match with Jake. I don't think Jake would have got along with it. Rodney and Brent, who was your dad's favorite wrestler? Jackie Fargo. Jackie Fargo was his favorite.
Also, the Fields brothers.
Which today would have been Ronnie's birthday.
It would have been. See, he died in 2013, didn't he? So how would he be? He died at
74.
74.
Because he was 12 years older than me.
Rick Brooks. I seen a short clip from the show, and they don't look like any heels I admired. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, Vampiro Furpo. I never get that guy's name.
Vampiro
right.
Furpo.
And Bruiser Brody. Michael Barr. Thank you, Jack. I do work out in the gym. I already have strong.
Strong doesn't mean big, though.
Maybe a little sensitive there. What do you think?
We've turned heel on everybody today. I turned heel on Rick Brooks over there for a minute. I feel bad about it too, Rick. I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me about saying just keep him. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to turn into a heel. I think I was getting ready to be on that television program.
That's my shtick.
This is true. Michael Barr said my email sends me mail about the T-shirts. And Michael Barr said, rest in peace, Ron West. Happy birthday, gone but not forgotten. Thank you so much. When we look back at this, and if we were, I don't really want to read any of the stuff because it was just made up stuff. None of it was ever, maybe if you read something about what happened, the wrestling news was closer to what really was going on in each territory. All of these were all made up stories, and they were crazy sometimes. I mean, they were way out there. I believe it's these same people writing Wrestling Today that was doing these magazines. But they produced a great magazine, and everybody that was ever in one of these magazines, if you hit the cover of a magazine, you could become a star by just being on the front of these magazines.
And there were a lot of those top magazines back then too, because it was almost every week a new one would be out.
Yeah. So tremendous. This could make you a star. You would maybe not know who Bruno Sammartino is, but because you picked up this magazine or a magazine like this, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Inside Wrestling, you become a star just by being on these magazines,
How much does it say it was, Brent?
It's $1.25.
$1.25.
October 1981. These could make or break you, and that's the reason Jerry Lawler would make sure that he was on them. And by being on these, Jerry Lawler, people knew who he was everywhere everywhere else. Very smart if you were a professional wrestler to be on these magazines back in the day. Brent, you mentioned 70 magazines.
I think you're talking about the magazines from the 70s.
Oh, okay, yeah, we've got some of those too. We're gonna be bringing out Daniel Lang, by the way, and I've not seen Daniel on here for a while.
Well, he wasn't on tonight.
But he's the one that these are all his, and I'm trying to get them all on before I give them the jack. So and also I'm scanning all this stuff in. So I'm scanning all the pictures and stuff in, so I can have these for future posts on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. Thank everybody. We want to thank everybody for supporting their channel, and we do have a small community, but we certainly do appreciate the small community we have that is supporting our channel. It goes to pay for our monthly fee that we have to pay to restream to do what we do on here. Also, when we buy a camera or we do something, we're hoping one day that it pays for itself. But we do appreciate you helping us do this each and every week. We certainly do appreciate it. Rick Brooks said Buzz was hot in '83 on the cover of every magazine in the business. Yes, he was. Buzz Sawyer and Tommy Rich had some tremendous matches. They had some bad ones too, but most of the time they had great matches. One of the worst matches of all time. One of the bad matches, Lars Anderson, Ole Anderson, go up there as one of the top 10. But Buzz Sawyer, Tommy Rich, Dyersville, Georgia, worst match I ever seen. They were taking bumps, taking backdrops. They wouldn't even around each other. They just was taking it. They were just taking it. Should have both been fired. But that's a different story, different time, different place. We've all done stuff stupid that we probably should have been fired for. Jack, anything we need to talk about before we leave?
No, just appreciate all you guys being here.
Rodney?
That's it.
Can I see that belt back there for a minute?
Right here.
Yeah, there we go. We're looking at the belt. Championship Wrestling belt back there. I believe, I'm not for sure. I believe I'm going to have to be the champion.
Oops, this way.
At least I go down at least.
For enough money, I'll just tell everybody you beat me for it and save us both a lot of hassle.
There you go.
I can be bought for a cigar.
Thank you all so much. We certainly do appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now.